there. You are now listening to the fastest show on IE Sports Radio. My name is Darren Kinsey Jr. Welcoming you to taking a lap of the extra mile for today, August 24th, 2023. And it is the end of the road for the NASCAR regular season championship. Pretty much the end of the road for both open wheel championships. And to help me talk about all that, of course, are my co-hosts, Christopher Lehman and Michael Ward.
Hey, howdy.
What's going on, everybody?
You cannot see Chris, but he looks every bit of a guy that just came out of the field right now with the trucker hat, and he's chewing on something down there. He definitely looks like he just walked off a tractor.
Zip
Chris,
tie.
Chris just looks like every motorsports fan ever.
So I'm actually.
I could left the hat
I'll
on.
show you.
You can have
Oh, there it
that.
is. Oh, nice. Okay. John Frolick Two-Cylinder Club. That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna. And if you're in the chat, make sure if you want to comment on anything, whether it be Chris's wonderful hat or the motorsports we're going to talk about, make sure you get it in the chat. We'll read it as it goes on. And
I'll post a picture on the Twitter right now.
so go ahead and check the Twitter at Extra Mile IESR. I hope you're having a better day than the Wagner group is today, because things did not go that well for them, and that's all I'm going to say about that. You know, some guys, Wagner and a bunch of the NASCAR playoff contenders are going to remember a quote by Thanos during Infinity War. You should have went for the head. In this case, for the NASCAR folks, you should have went for the win, because they're going to Daytona this weekend, and after what happened at Watkins Glen, sorry, I don't know why I forgot who won that race. The Gold Bowling at the Glen, with William Byron picking up his 5th win of the season, which is the quietest 5-win season I think we've seen in most recent memory. We now go to Daytona with 5 drivers going for one spot, in theory, by points. In reality, it's basically everybody that hasn't won going for one spot, which is currently held by Bubba Wallace. Now, I will not be watching the race on Saturday. I'm going to MDIR for Funny Car Chaos. And Chris, I was telling Michael this before we came on. I'm glad I'm going to the Funny Car Chaos race, because I'm going to, if not, I would be on pins and needles for all 160 laps.
Yeah. Sorry. So you're going to it?
Well, no, I'm going to, I am going to Buzz Creek on Saturday. I'm not going to Daytona.
Okay, I didn't think we were talking about you going to Daytona.
No.
I was going to say, that's a surprise trip if I've ever heard one right there.
I know, right?
Daytona.
Especially since I've been trying to get you guys to come up this way. So you going to Daytona randomly
it's gonna happen.
It's like a WTF moment.
Right. Well, don't worry. We will get up there soon. But,
I hope so.
Yeah. As far as Daytona is concerned, though, we know how it is. Go ahead.
It's going to be an endurance demolition derby.
Mm-hmm.
Especially this year. My gosh. This year is going to be pardon my French, but it's going to be a shit show.
Well, look at all the super speedway specialists that still haven't won. Austin Cindric still looking for a win. We already know about Bubba's situation. And man, look, I'm going to keep saying Talladega. He had the lead going into turn 1. He holds on there. We're not talking about this right now. But, yeah, Austin Cindric back there. Eric Almirola, who's won a plate race. We know what Austin Dillon can do at these places. He's still back there. And God only knows what happens when the big one happens. Because tonight, I think it's going to happen on Saturday night. That 16th spot for Bubba Wallace will not feel safe until lap 160 when he is confirmed in the playoffs.
I'm gonna just say this. This track is a worst case scenario for a must win scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of.
Because it's a track where literally anyone can win.
Mm-hmm. And let's not forget Corey LaJoy. He likes to sneak his head up there sometimes when you least expect it. So,
Yeah.
all I'm going to say is NASCAR wanted the drama for this 26th race, putting it at Daytona. They're going to get it, but I don't know if my heart is going to be able to take it, because I will definitely be checking my phone for the results while the funny car chaos is going on. Well, I'll be searching for Signal out there, trying to check what the results are like.
This race is going to be insane.
Yeah, but Bubba Wallace is not the only one in the danger zone. On the other side, Chris, Alex Bowman and Chase Elliott.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, it's not. We thought hands up if you thought Chase Elliott would have won by now.
Yeah.
I got my hand up.
Yeah. Michael's camera's off, but his hand is definitely up. All of us thought that Chase Elliott would have been in the playoffs by now. He is not.
I thought he had it won at the Glen, basically, but as you'll discover later on tonight, stuff happened. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, parapet road issues at Watkins Glen. We had Michael McDowell having a 23:11 moment. They just did not have a clean pit stop all day. Then the engine died. So thank God he won 2 weeks ago. And Chase Elliott, Alan Gustafson, I don't know what he was reading, but they got the fuel mileage way wrong. Chase runs out of gas to bring out the race's only caution. And that's it for Chase's hopes to get in on point. I mean, he had to win anyway. Now he definitely has to win, or Alf Gustafson is going to be out of a job. But for Chase Elliott, this has been a down year for him.
Yeah, this is definitely like one of a really bad season for him.
Yeah. And Chase doesn't show a lot of emotion because that's just how he is. But Chris, he's got to be disappointed going into this weekend.
I would certainly have to say so, but I also said a couple, probably 2 months ago now, I don't know if you guys remember, but it just felt like Chase has checked out.
Yes.
I feel like he just kind of checked out on the season, and he's just kind of riding along, waiting for it to end, really. And I think I said that about Charles, too. I think I said those the same week, that they both just seemed like they just kind of checked out. And I still feel that way about Chase. I absolutely do. I think, especially now that he didn't win Watkins Glen, I think his momentum is going to be at an all-time low, and you are going to see just a deflated performance out of him the rest of the season. I don't think he wins.
It's hard to tell who's going to win this weekend. I know who I'm picking this weekend for selfish reasons, but if he doesn't win, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be throwing dirt on his career. Let's not. He's still a young kid, but man, he's going to have to come back. Yeah, but he's going to have to come back next year on a tear just to remind people who he is. But on that same note, we've talked about Hendrick Motorsports a lot this year. That team just does not feel the same.
I mean, From what I've seen, it's just, one or maybe a couple drivers doing well, and the others are kind of struggling,
Well, William Byron has 5 wins. I'm still trying to figure out how that happened. He's looking like he's going to win the regular season, or he's going to be the number 1 seed in the playoffs. Kyle Larson only has 2 wins, which is a weird sentence to say. Only has 2 wins after that 9-win performance he did post-suspension. And then we just talked about Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman. We thought that team was going back to the early 2000s. They've dipped. And I don't know how they fix it. It's just one of those weird things. Especially some other teams that have dipped. Stuart Haas absolutely nowhere.
That's not a dip. That's a fall off the cliff.
Oh, they fell off Niagara Falls. But on the other side, where the heck did RFK come from? Both of their cars are in the playoffs.
Where did RFK come from? Where did front row come from?
Just random teams that decided to do good this year. But there's not much.
Closer and more competitive.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the good things for the next gen, and there's not much to say about Daytona. We keep repeating it. We have no idea how this race is going to end. It is a plate race, and they're chaotic at the best of times. This is running for a playoff spot. The last one. There's going to be some strategy, trickeration, and my concern is in that pit box. For the 23 and the 45, especially the 23. Saturday night is not the night. They had a good day on Sunday. Bubba had a terrific day by his standards. Ran top 10 all day until the Chase Elliott caution came out. He ended up finishing 12th. But the pit crew has to be perfect or they're going to be out of it. And that is just something that we're going to have to watch all day with that 23. But going back to Watkins Glen real quick, and then we'll take a break. A lot of conversation about the next gen on road courses and talking about how it's bad on road courses. I don't think it's bad. It's just a car that actually suits road courses. We're used to something more like Xfinity, where the car has no business being on road courses, so there's a lot of chaos and people slamming into each other, but we don't get that anymore because this car is more similar to a GT4. So it actually suits road courses. I think that is more of an issue other than NASCAR screwed up the next gen car again, which every time a race is...
I think what they should do...
What?
I keep saying it, but I really think they should use the data from Garage 56 and make like a road course aero package.
I would like to see that. Some of that extra aero on there.
And maybe that'll help these cars pass.
It might. I mean, it was definitely passing all those GT cars.
And keeping people awake all night.
Yep. Chris, what do you think?
I absolutely think that for starters, I think the Garage 56 program should have been a collaboration between the three main manufacturers.
Agreed.
I don't particularly... I feel like they could have said, we're going to make it a Chevy body, but the other manufacturers, you can have a hand in it. Mm-hmm. Right? Whether that's engineering support or whatever, but then it would have been fair. I think what they should do is build a Garage 56 car and then send it to the teams and say, here's one you can tear it apart, look at it, see how it is, or at least have like I had said a couple months ago when it happened, like have a day at Charlotte where you invite all the drivers, all the teams out, and every driver gets to take X amount of laps, and just say to the teams, you pay for the tires, you pay for the fuel, and you can send your drivers out in it, get them some experience on the Roval, and see what you think. Get us some feedback. So, but I think that the Garage 56 car should be a starting point for it, but it needs to be much more of a collaboration and not necessarily just Chevrolet and Hendrick. I mean, even in the Chevy teams, it's not like RCR or anybody was in there either. It was just Hendrick. So, even as a Hendrick fan, it just seemed like it was kind of a little bit shady.
It is weird how that went. We'll see how they... I'm pretty sure there's data they can use from that car to make the road courses a little bit better. I think road courses just need a little bit of an adjustment. I just don't know what you do with this car at short tracks, though, other than throwing 300 more horsepower at it. But they want to use these engines for multiple weeks. So that is not compatible, as we've seen with Formula One and how much money they spend to make their engines reliable. Those are over $1,000. They spend a Cup team's entire budget on one engine, and that is not sustainable in NASCAR with 36 races. So I really do not know what you do for the more power crowd. Denny said it on Actions Detrimental when it first started, that it's not going to happen. So stop asking.
It'd take years to get there, even if they came out and said today, "Yep, we'll do it." You're looking at probably 2025 at the earliest.
And by then you could just put hybrid power in it and do it that way.
Exactly.
Which is probably how they're going to do it. It's just they got to figure out when they're going to rip the Band-Aid off the whole hybridization of NASCAR. 'Cause they've talked about this car is ready for that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's just getting the fan base to buy into it.
They're not going to buy in. You're just going to have to do it.
Yep. I 100% agree with you.
Yep. But we're going to take a break. When we come back, the open wheel season, it's about over. And we'll talk about that on the other side of this break here on the Extra Mile on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Yeah.
What's up, sports fans? You're listening to IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your favorite West Coast Wisconsinite, Bernie Bango, and if you're a cheesehead, come listen to my show, Big Cheese Sports, where we road trip around America's Dairyland, previewing, reviewing, predicting, debating, and digging into all that is Wisconsin sports at the college and pro levels. Join me on IE Sports Radio, Sundays at 1 p.m. Central Standard. Bernie out.
Well, what is up, Carolina Nation? This is John Felipe of the Carolina Cast, of course, the podcast of, by, and for the Carolinas, right here on IE Sports, your direct feed for all that is sports. And I'm reminding you to tune in Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern for the latest in Carolina sports, whether it's the Panthers that keep on pounding, the fly natures of the Hornets, the storming Hurricanes, the battle of the Blues with Duke and UNC, the fight of the Clemson Tigers, or the amazing atmosphere of any Carolina college. I'm talking App State, I'm talking ECU. I've got you covered. Once again, tune in for the Carolina Cast with me, John Felipe, Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And we're back here in the Extra Mile on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Daryl, Chris, and Michael here with you this evening. Remember, if you're listening live, make sure to put your comments in. We will read them on the show. And shout out to our sponsor, Planet Jerky Premium Brisket. I got my package of jerky with my iSports Radio Hall of Fame shirt a couple weeks ago. I tried to make that jerky last as long as possible. I got the smoky barbecue flavor. It is tongue beating its way out your mouth. Delicious. It was really good. So check out Planet Jerky Premium Brisket, and thank you so much for sponsoring this program. I don't know if you guys got any jerky, but I did, and it was pretty amazing. Probably not the best thing to have when you're just starting a weight loss journey, but it's not going to kill me.
No, it won't.
No. So, unfortunately, Formula One is coming back, and we may have been on a dour note when it comes to the open wheel series that we cover, but the championships at this point are pretty much well sewn up. Alex Palou only needs 8 more points to wrap up his second NTT Data IndyCar Series Championship at Gateway this weekend for the Bommarito Automotive Group 500. And Max Verstappen more than likely is going to win in front of his home crowd and then win again in Qatar to lock up his, I think it's third, and Chris can correct me if I'm wrong.
Three.
Yes, his third F1 World Championship. And my question to you guys is, which championship do you think was really more dominant, the Palou run or the Verstappen run?
Verstappen.
Yeah.
Verstappen.
Max for sure. It was it was fun to think Checo could compete, but if we're being real, it was never really a competition.
Those first few... Go ahead.
This was a slaughter field for F1 fans, honestly.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Of course it has been fun.
Of course, the Verstappen fan says that. It's like, nah.
Yeah.
Here's what I would... Go ahead.
You had your years of glory, Daryl.
I know. I can't hate. But I will say Palou, just because the level of competition with his rivals was a little bit higher.
That's what I was thinking, but it's just
It really wasn't until the second half where Palou started dominating everybody. But Verstappen, it was a foregone conclusion. So that's why I would say Palou, just because of the level of competition.
Him completely destroying Mercedes, Ferrari. I mean, McLaren had a resurgence, but they're still on top. It's just, but what do you do, really?
Balance of performance.
Yeah.
Look, people don't want to hear it when it comes to Formula One. Either we're just going to get used to one team dominating everything, or there needs to be a balance of performance model. And people will say, well, that's not in the spirit of the competition. The spirit of the competition sucks. And this is coming from a Mercedes fan. And I can tell you, championship 5 through 7, it wasn't fun anymore. Because you knew what was going to happen. Especially that 2020 season, before we found out that Ferrari cheated up the engines the year before.
Still don't know what they did, by the way.
Yeah, we still don't know what they did. I wish they would let them do it again. It would make it a little bit exciting.
Make it interesting.
Yeah.
You know what, though? At Belgium, the Ferraris definitely in qualifying gave the Red Bulls run for their money. Now, they had nothing on the race pace, obviously. Nobody does. But in qualifying, if they actually did take out the DRS like it's rumored they might, Red Bull could well be starting mid-pack because they are not fast without DRS and they are not fast on single lap qualifying.
Maybe, but my thing...
I mean, what do
Go
you
ahead.
substitute? I'm sorry, Daryl, to cut you off again. If you take out DRS, what are you going to substitute? Because these cars need that little extra something.
Well, they're talking about in qualifying potentially eliminating DRS, which you
Okay.
don't.
Oh, okay. All right, that works. Because if they take out DRS, I'm just like, okay, so how are we going to pass now?
There was like an account that was not Formula One, but they asked fans what their thought would be on more of a push to pass system. Which,
I prefer that, to be honest with you.
but I don't know if the teams would sign off on that though. Just because they have so much invested into their DRS systems that maybe for 2026 when they're getting the new engine and they've got reason, but I think until I just think that it's a big financial burden with a budget cap to say, hey, we are completely changing a big part of the race and you have to now figure it out.
Yeah. It's so hard to figure out what they're going to do with this because let's be honest, the new rules in Formula One have not worked as far as overtaking. It feels like the overtaking is actually
sometimes they
worse.
work. Sometimes they work. Like certain tracks, they work.
Yeah, but the problem is it doesn't work everywhere, and we're going to take Monaco out of this equation because you haven't been able to pass on Monaco since all three of us have been alive. So I don't want to hear about Monaco. Oh, the cars are too big now. The cars haven't been able to pass since the 70s. Stop fooling yourselves. Like, anyway, y'all know I don't like Monaco. But
how dare you speak in facts, Daryl?
Facts are the enemies this day.
The audacity.
They show this man on Twitter. I'm just kidding.
Oh God, don't start that. Don't start that. Anyway, overall it's been a net negative as far as the eye test is concerned. And they're going to have to take a lot more downforce away. They might need to bring active suspension in, but I don't see them doing that. But at the end of the day,
that was a thing?
I remember those days. I mean, it wasn't... Obviously, the technology was not perfected, and it got banned after Senna died because the suspension locking kind of contributed to what happened there.
No. It got banned the year prior. It got banned the same year.
Ah. That's what I said. Oh, no.
I said the year prior. I thought you said the year Senna died. It was banned the year before that.
Oh, okay. I was 4 when this happened, so of course I'm going to get some things wrong. But, the active suspension, ironically, maybe would have saved Senna, actually, now that I think about it. Anyway, they're going to have to do something in 2026 to shake this up. Because they can't keep going like this. It's not fun for anybody other than the fans of the team that's dominating.
Yeah. I mean, unless you watch it, the midfield, squabble.
And that's fun for a little bit, but when those guys are not really running for anything other than 7th, it's like, why do I care? That's only exciting for so long. You do also want to see battles up front.
Yeah.
But we are going to the Netherlands. It's kind of a foregone conclusion what's going to happen unless there is disaster. We do have a potential for rain, but we'll see what happens. But then we go to Qatar, and that championship's over.
I'm going to hate the color orange after this day.
Yeah, and you've got 2 months almost of races that don't really matter if you really want to get down to it. I mean,
well,
yes,
you actually have a really good race for P2 in the drivers, though.
Wow, P2.
You have a 3-way run for P2. That's still, and in the constructors, I think Mercedes is kind of running away with P2, but Ferrari and Aston Martin for P3. But I think you've got three different teams running for P2 in the constructors or the drivers. You've got Checo, you've got Lewis, and Charles.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think Charles is right there too. or no, Fernando, not Charles, Fernando. Um, that's a good run right there, though. That definitely gives you something to watch for. Is I mean, sure the championship's already shored up, but I mean, we're racing to finish out the podium.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you're right. You can at least see
that.
how the podium's going to wrap up.
I guess we can see. I guess that's something to look forward to.
And I mean, with Fernando and Lewis, I mean, that's a good storyline right there. I mean, it's worth watching. It's not like it's all for naught at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll take it back. There is some things to watch, but if you're Vegas, if you're not if you're Abu Dhabi, we're not even going to get into that, but if you're those races after Qatar, you're kind of going to get hit with the hangover as some of the folks kind of drop off once Max is done with the championship. And who knows what that means for your results. I mean, your attendance, because we'll still have... Actually, let me look at this. It's actually coming up Netherlands and then Italy.
Yeah.
Where he might have it wrapped up. Then it'll be Singapore, Japan, Qatar. The U.S. Grand Prix in Texas, Mexico, Brazil, Vegas, and Abu Dhabi. That's a significant portion of the championship where it's already decided, at least the top place is decided. And we all want 2012, 2021 until the last lap, We all want those type of championships back. Right now in Formula One, you're just not getting it. But the last bit of news with Formula One is that Haas has re-signed both of their drivers. So Hülkenberg and Magnussen will be back for next year.
Damn it.
I think that was kind of a no-brainer, but the question is, who were they going to go get?
The only reason I'm saying damn it is because in the F1 game, I can't use the number 20.
Aww. But in reality, who are they going to go get? Like, who's really going to say,
Mick Schumacher. I'm just kidding.
Hey, come run 8th for the majority of your form, or 8th in the constructors for the majority.
I'm pretty
of
sure
your
there's
F1
some
year.
good IndyCar talent they can get out there, but Gunther Steiner.
Yeah, and we're also still waiting for the announcement of who the 11th or 12th team is going to be.
That'll be good. Get some more butts in these seats.
It'll be Red Bull Summer Edition, and then the Red Bull Green can. That's gonna be seats. That's gonna be the next two teams. Oh, I forgot to show you.
Nice. Oh,
the
pop came in.
Yeah, they do tease. There's gonna be one in the car.
Nice.
So I'm pretty excited about that.
Okay. So we're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll get you ready. We'll continue our conversation with the Open Wheel Championships, and Saturday Night Hydroplane League is announcing their schedule. We'll talk about that on the other side of this break here on the Extra Mile, iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Davidson.
It's your boy, Lentarius Locke.
And we are the hosts of Fast Break here on IE Sports Radio, where we discuss everything in the world of basketball from prep to the pros.
You guys should definitely check us out, man. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We got all the basketball information you guys need, so we look forward to you guys listening in.
And please do, because we are the best basketball show on this side of the Mississippi. And please do check us out on Twitter at FastBreakISR. D-Lock, where's our time again?
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That gives you guys plenty of time on a Sunday.
Tune in.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Rose Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. They're coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, everyone? It's Drewski, the host of Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. On this station, we cover everything in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. From where we cover the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Stars, Dallas Mavericks, Dallas Wings, Texas Rangers, TCU, SMU, we cover it all right here every Wednesdays from 9 to 10 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you stay live with me on the Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And we are back here in the Extra Mile on IE Sports Radio. Your feed that for all that is sports. It's the Extra Mile with Daryl, Chris, and Michael. We're back here for the final segment of the night. And as we were saying there during the break, we'll bring it here as far as Formula One is concerned. This was the driest summer break in recent memory. We didn't have the big contract shenanigans we had last year. Nobody got canceled on Twitter.
Man, I was watching some Twitter drama. I don't know what she was talking about.
Okay, no one knew was canceled on Twitter. The only thing that really happened of note were the Haas drivers getting re-signed, which is kind of weird because usually the summer breaks when all the chaos happens, and this year it really didn't. And I think one of the big problems is the main guy, Nick DeVries, got fired before we even got to the summer break.
Yeah, I think that's probably the reason it was so slow. because that would have been the summer break news.
Yes.
But no, it was slow as far as, and I think maybe the tail end of what I was saying maybe got put into the we were back then. But as far as verifiable news, I mean, Twitter is always a hot mess. But like as far as news goes, it was slow. You had Will Buxton, or no, Crofty, being a
Give
little
me a sec, guys.
controversial, but
Sorry, I said a freaking helicopter like low flying over the house. I don't know if that was getting picked up, but
no.
I sent you I was sending you a care package.
apparently chopper gunner was coming. Somebody got a kill streak. But continue.
Lucky them. It was just Crofty got himself into a little bit of Twitter trouble, but that's really about it. Other than that, it was just nothing. The most exciting stuff happened in IndyCar.
Yeah, well, Crofty was trying to pump up the Abu Dhabi finish, and look, you've got to read the freaking room by now on what happened there.
Yeah, so a lot of the drama I was reading on Twitter was about Abu Dhabi, and I was like, it's been 2 years, guys.
He was just talking about like his best commentary, and he actually did good commentary for what nobody knew what the heck was going on. So he did what he gets paid to do, and he commentated the end. And as far as the commentary, it's good.
I mean, it was true. It was Crofty brilliance, I just wish it hadn't come in that situation.
Nobody had any idea what was going on. And realistically, Crofty probably had no real reason to think that there was actually something that sketchy going on.
No, we really didn't know until after. And then when we heard the radio message from Michael Massey, that's where I was like, oh, that's what we're doing.
It didn't even really get that controversial until after the race ended.
Yeah.
Because they really didn't, the commentary had no idea what the hell was going on. And so what we were getting on TV was just like, this is happening, but there was there wasn't even time to explain how weird stuff was. It was just, we're getting that going. And so, and then after it ended, of course, then things got a little crazy, but that was more on the cool down lap.
Yeah, I think the only other big thing is this weird thing with Massa continuing.
Yeah,
like they sent the letter. I don't really know what's going to come of that. People keep thinking the championship's going to get stripped from Hamilton. That's not going to happen. In fact, I'm not even sure how far this is going to get in the legal process because the courts don't really have jurisdiction, apparently. So I don't know where this is going, but it was a dry summer season or summer break news season or cycle.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. I completely agree with you. It was more interesting in the NASCAR. Well, I should say is in the last 3-4 weeks. NASCAR and IndyCar there's been way more going on off track than there has been in Formula One.
Mm-hmm. And as I talked about on TikTok, the Extra Mile Pod, Alex Palou does two things really, really well. He wins IndyCar races. He gets sued over his contract.
I think that's fake, Daryl.
No, it literally just came out.
Okay, because there's been a fake one going around for like the last 20 minutes.
No, this is the actual one. For those that don't know, 45's mugshot just came out. But back on topic, McLaren is now suing Alex Palou and Chip Ganassi over the championship. I mean, not over the championship, over Alex Palou's 2024 contract. Trying to get some money back is what seems to be happening because apparently Zach Brown gave Alex Palou an advance on his contract for next year. However, Alex wasn't supposed to be signing a contract because his rights are still owned by Ganassi until September 1st. I don't know why this guy wants to get to Formula One so bad, but he's really doing it the ass backwards way.
Sorry, I'm just scrolling Twitter and Looking at that photo, that's
There's gonna be a lot of comments on the Twitter.
that's
Michael,
history.
Michael, what is your whole view of this whole contract situation with Alex Below? Michael?
Yeah, my mic was muted. All I was gonna say was, yeah, he's not really doing it right, but as long as he gets to where he wants to go, I guess it doesn't really matter to him.
Yeah, but
But
he's not going to get where he wants to go. That's the problem.
I feel the same way you do, Daryl. I feel like he should, do what he's good at, which is winning championships here. But
Well, the thing is, if you look at McLaren, Lando's young, and so is Piastri. So what is he going to do? Go be a reserve driver? Nah.
Apparently, the thing is, he's going to be the reserve driver and race for them in IndyCar. I think is the plan. But it's like, why would you do that? Because you're just going to be in IndyCar.
Why race
exactly? So there's no sense in tying yourself to McLaren that historically is beyond logic what they do with contracts. I wouldn't want to work for Zach Brown. No way, Jose. No.
I think the only good part about this is Zach is getting a little bit of his own medicine when it comes to contract shenanigans.
Yeah. I hope he gets a little bit more of his own.
It's just
I
weird.
wonder if they breached the budget.
Who, McLaren?
Yeah.
That's another thing. We still haven't found out which teams did or did not breach the budget cap.
We won't find that out till later.
Much later.
Yeah, I thought that was going to come out soon, but I guess not. Just, it feels like we had this whole month. Either 2 or 3, who knows?
One of them was definitely had to have been Aston. And then the other one I have to say is McLaren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find out. The big news in IndyCar as far as contracts is Marcus Ericsson moving over to Andretti from Ganassi next year. I think that's a pretty good pickup. Ericsson's been pretty quick, and they've needed a good influx of new talent over there at Andretti because it was a rough 2023. You guys think he can upturn that ship around?
He's definitely pretty quick. He might be able to do it.
I hope he's able to do it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I still cannot find any Husky chocolate, though.
I can't either.
I'm just looking up last year when they announced Red Bull had the budget cat overage, and it was early October that they announced it.
Okay, so we might hear about it in like a month or two.
But Ben Suliem says that they should be able to do it earlier. They learned a lot through the process, and they think they'll be able to streamline it. And it sounds like they might be targeting like September.
Okay.
September? Okay, so we might know next month.
September's only a week away.
Yeah, so we might know next month.
Where we're going to get that and possibly the new team at the same time. So that's going to be interesting.
I mean, in reality, we should know in the next 40 days. Either way.
Yeah. We will know who did it.
We might not even be on. Oh, no, we will be because NASCAR
is still
Ferrari? Running.
Yeah.
It could be.
What if it's Ferrari?
They got to pay.
If it's Ferrari and they were even.
That fat severance package.
If it's Ferrari and they got worse, fire everyone.
Absolutely, like
on God, bro.
Even the janitor.
Yep.
Even the janitor.
If Ferrari broke the cap and got worse, there is not a knock the building down and start fresh.
Just delete the franchise and start over.
Yeah, they're gonna have to sell to Rick Ware.
Jesus Christ.
And with that, I think it's time to roll in the nearest the win. We got all three series back. Chris, who did everybody pick?
I don't have Michael's yet.
Remember, you had to put it in Discord. But I'll still say who I'm
I
gonna
put
pick.
it in the chat and here though.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's in here.
See, I don't get notifications for Zoom.
Oh yeah, check that out. And
all right, give me that mugshot though.
Well, while we wait for Michael to pick up his make his picks, this is a great time to remind all of you that I will be back for the Saturday Night Hydroplane League commentary, which starts on September 23rd when Division II takes to the water in Miami. The next week will be September 30th, and then October 28th, Detroit for Division II, starting the most exciting. Actually, no, it'll be the 21st. Be Detroit for the Saturday Night Hydroplane League Gold Cup, one of the most exciting races of the year. I cannot wait to lend my voice to those broadcasts for the third year in a row. And if you want to hear those, actually no, fourth year doing this, sorry. And if you want to watch the best virtual hydroplane racers go at it, go over to Facebook, Saturday Night Hydroplane League. We will be broadcasting all season long on Facebook. The races will start at, or broadcast will start at 5:30 with the first heat going off at 6. Hope to see you guys virtually there. I can't wait to get back started, Chris. It's always a lot of fun seeing these guys take the virtual unlimited hydroplanes around some of the courses that still exist and some from yesteryear that we get to remember in a virtual sense.
Yeah, and I caught a couple over the past couple of years. I've caught a couple of the events, and they were certainly entertaining. While we wait for Michael, though, I do have another
I
thing.
just submitted it.
Okay. Did this past weekend for you guys just absolutely cement the fact that stage cautions need to go away at road courses?
Yeah. Yes.
I think stage cautions need to go away again for everything.
Well, I agree with you there too, but road courses, I mean, in the whole time that we had stage cautions, did we ever have one person run out of fuel?
No.
I don't think we ever did.
I really think they really need to think about keeping the stages, but just getting rid of the caution.
The caution. Yeah. I agree. Because the stage cautions just take all of the fun and the strategy out of the road courses.
Well, the bigger issue is that it extends the race, and everybody's talking about getting
That's
the time
true.
down. Well, the best way to get the time down, don't have the cautions.
Yeah, take out the 7 longest laps of the race.
Yep.
Okay, I'm opening up nearest the win now, and okay, let's see here. We'll go by question. Sorry, I'm trying to...
No, you're good. Take your time.
Yeah. Okay, so for we'll start with NASCAR at Daytona. I picked Austin Dillon. Daryl took Bubba Wallace, and Michael, the copycat Ward, took Austin Dillon.
What?
I had to put my money where my mouth was on that one, and if Austin does get the win, more than likely somebody's going in the wall.
Yep. It'll probably be Bubba.
I hope not.
Well, you know the luck there, though.
Yeah.
So we got F1 at Zandvoort. I am using my last Red Bull pick, and I'm taking Supermax. Daryl is taking Lewis, and Michael is taking K-Mag. Getting that Haas pick out of the way.
Yeah.
And then we'll wrap up with IndyCar at WWT. I broke a promise that I made to myself a long time ago in 2022 that I would never pick Colton Herta again for a race, and he could never hurt me again. And folks, I'm back and I'm ready to be hurt. So I'm taking Colton Herta. Daryl is taking Alex Pillow, and Michael is taking Joseph Newgarden.
Yep, I'm taking Alex Pillow to wrap that championship up this week.
Which he probably, I think it's a safe assumption that he will.
Yes.
It'd be harder for him not to do it than to do it.
It will be fun to see how these races wrap up, and Daytona, I'm not going to have any nails left by the time that race ends. But
I won't even be watching it.
Yeah. I won't be watching it because I'll be out of town, or not out of town. I will be away from the TV, but I'm not going to be that upset because I'd be a lot more nervous trying to watch it. So we're going to we're going to get ready to get out of here. Remember, if you want to talk to us on Twitter, I'm at DKJr12. Chris is at Fiji Sims, and Michael is at Michael_War25. Make sure you keep a look to our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok as well. And make sure to keep it locked to the iSports Radio pages on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. And if you missed any episode of any iSports Radio show, you can hear them wherever you get your podcasts, as well as YouTube Repository, which is a copy of every show we've ever done. Again, and also make sure you go over to www.isportsradio.com. Check out some of the merchandise, information on all of our shows. Listen to our shows as well and get involved in the forums or pick up some merch as well. And thank you so much to our sponsor, Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet. Thank you all so much for listening to this edition of The Extra Mile. My name is Darrell Kinsey Jr. For Michael and Chris, thank you so much for listening. We will see you at the next green flag. Good night, everybody.